How are you feeling physically?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you.
You saw you get your ankle tape, both ankles taped on Sunday. Anything this week you're dealing with as far as the ankles?
Probably just the same thing. Just keep an eye on them, and they just got rolled up on. But being smart, doing whatever I can to make sure I'm ready to go on Sunday.
What have you seen from Jacksonville defensively?
Yeah, they're really good. They've done a really good job of forcing turnovers. I think they're maybe second in the league in interceptions, and they've got some premier edge rushers. Great D-line as well. Just guys up front are able to get after the passer, and ball security and making sure that we're not forcing any turnovers is going to be very important for us. It's an emphasis this week, and they're very well coached. And you turn on the tape, and they're going to do a lot of different things. Blitz guys from a lot of different places. So we got to watch as much as we can, get a good feel for it.
I know it's not your style, but do you need to maybe stand up for yourself a little bit more with the refs and the late hits? I know you were pretty demonstrative one time Sunday.
Yeah, I think I let it know. I let the refs know when I thought there was a late hit. But it's part of the game, and they've got a job too, and it's tough to call it as they're seeing it. So what I thought it might not have been in reality, but I think it's just part of the game, and whether we get the call or not, we're gonna have to run another play the next play. So I got to get back up and get back into the huddle.
You can't get too far out of your headspace. You have to be, in the moment. Is that what you mean? Like you got another play to call, another play to run effectively. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think arguing isn't going to get me anywhere. If I make a big deal out of it, odds are they're not going to call it. The more I fight and the more I push for it, I think they're going to get more and more likely to not call it. And so I think for me, it's if they call it, great. If we get that 15 yards, then we're moving forward. But if not, I got to get back up. I can express my emotions and say, I thought that was a late hit or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's out of my control, and I got to get back into the huddle.
As far as your internal clock in a game, as far as when pass rush is coming and when you sort of feel like you have to get rid of the ball, do you go into a game with sort of an idea of what your internal clock is going to be like? Does that change over the course of the game based on what's happening with the pass rush? How does that sort of work for you as far as feeling when you need to get rid of the ball?
You got to do your best to see defenders whenever they're coming through, and I think at the end of the day, you got to be able to sit back in the pocket, and if no one's getting through, then you got all the time in the day, and you can sit back there and you can make those throws and sit in the pocket. But if someone breaks through or there's a free runner, then it's time to think about, hey, where do I get the ball out? Is a throwaway all right? Is there a scramble lane? And that's just part of playing quarterback of seeing that and being able to adapt quickly.
Do you change your approach to that based on who's playing up front for you guys? Obviously, is your internal clock different when, for example, when you have Sean and Joe out there versus not having them out there? Does that change at all for you?
No, I think you're just going based on the defense. If you see a guy rushing up the field, then you've got an issue. Or if there's a guy coming down the A or B gap, you've got an issue. You got to get the ball out quickly. You got to step up. You got to move. But you're dropping back, trying to keep your eyes downfield at the same time, see those defenders, and so it gets pretty tough. But that's part of the job. And for us as quarterbacks, if you're trying to get the ball too quickly and there's no defenders, then you've wasted an opportunity to push the ball downfield. So it's based on the defense, and obviously, the more you get pressured, the more likely you are you're going to feel it more. But that's just part of the game, and just calming your feet down and just making sure that you're getting the ball out on time.
That's sort of what I was getting at. You over the course of the game, you do feel it a little bit. So how do you sort of balance that as far as when you start feeling okay, maybe the clock's getting sped up, but at the same time, still looking for those plays downfield?
Yeah, I guess you could think about if you had 5 or 6 plays in a row where there was pressure, the 7th one, you can't let those 5 or 6 affect your 7th one. And so if you're dropping back on those 5 and 6 and you got to get the ball out quickly or you throw it away, the 7th one, they might block perfectly, and you got to take your time and go through all the reads. And so it really is play by play, and you never want to get rid of the ball too quickly because then you're missing a shot downfield. And that's where it's difficult, but that's part of the game where you got to just sit back and stay comfortable, calm your feet down, and make sure you're going through your reads.
You got Jacksonville coming up. It'll be the first trip there since the playoff game a few years ago. What do you remember about that game, or have you just blocked it out entirely?
No, I remember it. I remember every game I've ever played in.
Do you really?
The other big,
Like little snippets of.
it's my job.
I know, but you play a lot of games.
Yeah.
What stood out about that one?
Yeah, it was a playoff game that we lost, and not much more to it than that.
Second half, just couldn't move the ball. What changed? Did anything change in that game? Did they do anything different?
Yeah, we've had plenty of opportunities to talk about that game. I think that's 2 or 3 years out of the past, and we've moved on since then, and we've all learned from it, so we're moving forward.